What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today we have a Patreon requested tutorial. We have Sephiroth versus Cloud. So this was from just a person over on Patreon. He requested Cloud and Sora versus Sephiroth, but I couldn't fit in Sora in the end. It was awkward with Cloud sort of down here with his sword to fit everything in. So sorry about that. I could do Sora versus Sephiroth at some point, but it was hard to fit the two boys on this side and Sephiroth over here. Just couldn't do it. Sorry about that. Apologies. I hope this is good enough anyway. So we start with Cloud over here. I'm on landscape orientation paper. Use a pencil and eraser and hit pose if I go too fast. Let's go. So we start with his nose. I always like to start with noses on characters in profile. It's the easiest, I think. So we just start with this sort of letter L sort of thing, right? So we just curve it down and then it comes back around here. So it always reminds me of a letter L or like a number 7 upside down. And so normally there'd be a nostril like there. And so we can't really see much of his forehead, right? So the nose starts to curve this way, and the brow would normally be here, right? But he's got like a big hair spike coming down the front of his forehead, right? So this kind of just curves down to here and goes back up the other side, right? So just this big sort of hair spike. All right, so just in here. So this goes up maybe a little bit further and then hooks down to there. Right, but his brow is in here somewhere, so that means like his eyebrows should be here too. So we got like a tick line, curve, and spike line going that way. He's frowning quite heavily, and then the other side of this eyebrow tapers back, gets very skinny as we go back this way. Okay, this goes under hair as well, but we'll just draw it in just so we can see it. Okay, so where is... Yeah, so then top eyelid, kind of just underneath here. So we go diagonal and then back this way. You can thicken this line up much as you want, really. And then this goes diagonal down like so. Just to there, and then kind of the bottom of his eye, you kind of leave a gap and then sort of just here. You can join them if you want, but I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. Just a style choice, that's all. And then top eyelid line just coming across here, like so. And then his eye. So he's kind of looking up at Sephiroth, right? So we'll just skinny sort of line here. Kind of an ellipse sort of shape, and then his iris. Just there. Right, so then mouth, so we go down, sticks out for his top lip, back into here, bottom lip, sticks out there, goes back in, and then sort of down here. It's kind of hidden by his shoulder pad, right? But his bottom lip, so we'll go like back this way. Right, So most of his jaw is hidden by this shoulder pad here, right? So it's like this curved line. And it comes across real long. Across this way. And eventually it does meet one of those bolts and curves around, but we'll just stop it here. And then we'll add some more long sort of hair spikes, you know, his sort of characteristic kind of fringe, right? So you kind of come down this way across his eye. Like so. I think my Sharpie is wasting. Alright, so let's try that again. Yeah, it's a bit better. Right down to there, and then we'll bring this back up. Like so. And then he's got long ones kind of behind his head, so he's like here, and this goes like up. That way, so it sticks down behind his ear. And then his ear comes out from behind this, so it's like in line with his eye, so like here. His ear's like there, and then we have a bolt like that's on this shoulder pad, right? That's covering the rest of his ear. So this comes up this way. Down like so. We got some lines on it there. And then some like bones and ligaments on the inside of his ear. Like his jaw would be in there. So you can't really see the bottom of his ear. Can you? No. Not really. Jaw there. Maybe like some more hair here. Something like this. And then more bones and ligaments and things inside his ear there. Right, so then he has that typical sort of clouds, hair spikes going all the way around, right? So you've got like another fringe line there. And then hair spike coming out the front, back in. And then we go up, back down. And then another big one. Up. Back down to there. One in behind this one. Up. And then all the way back to there. And then let's see. Sorry, I'm just moving images. Okay, so see, there's like another one going this way, another hair spike there. And then the round sort of part of his head goes back this way to some hair spikes sticking out back here. I think we should see some of his forehead in here. Right, and then another spike here. this way, like a couple of them maybe. And then we'll bring this along the back of his neck down into there. And then some hair spikes going this way. So like one sticking out here. Then a little one just here. And then another one at the top. Going up and down to there. Texture lines and stuff if you want. So like that. Right, so he's got one arm sticking out here and then that big shoulder pad. So right, so we'll have to do this shoulder pad first. So let's see, we've got another piece of armor and it comes down this way and kind of sits on his bicep. So then this comes down like so. And it goes back into there, and then we have this other curved line coming down here. And then, so this like comes across, seems to step down, step back up, go across. Like so. And then this goes up around to there, right? And then we have like some more of those bolts and stuff, right? So another one say there, another one beside it. You just do these sort of ellipses on top. Another one down this side, right? And then the bottom of these just going down like so. And we got a bolt, so it has like a bottom, and then there's like a bolt coming around it. You just give these edge lines just to sort of make them look a little bit 3D. There's all these lines coming down them. And then on this one as well. And then more sort of bolt shapes. That, and then we got like some edge lines or something here. We go up into the corner. This one goes down. That, and there could be like scratch marks and dirt and stuff, you know, because it's metal, and give this an edge as well here. Right, so then like the back of his neck comes out here, and he's got his collar that way, and his shoulder just goes off the back of my page here. This goes back like that, and then he has, you know, it's a sweater that has like lines on it. And then we have the back of it here. And the lines keep going that way. And he's got like a leather strap or something here. Some buttons. Goes down like so. And then the side of his body. So tricep comes out here. And then the underneath of his shoulder sort of pad comes up this way. This is like his jumper or something here. Like his sleeve. And then this will go diagonal this way. His body coming down here. And then you can have like some more of those lines for his clothing going down that way. So, top of his shoulder, kind of there. So his blade comes down this way, right? So then we should have like a bit of his shoulder, bicep kind of area here. Comes out kind of long that way. And then this will go up this way to there for his tricep. And then his forearm out to his elbow up here. There's like a forearm line or something coming across here. Maybe his tricep here as well, with some like hatching going back that way. Right, so that's his elbow going in that way, right? And then we can see just his forearm. He's got like a big wristband on his arm. Like so. So I think that wristband again has like loads of bolts and stuff on it, so no easy way of doing this. So we just go around. So this is foreshortened. It means like it's like going away from the camera, you know. So everything kind of looks round and shorter than it normally would. Okay. So then a couple of these bolts, right, just sticking off. We'll do them easy. Kind of like this. Right, we don't have to add much in the way of detail to them. And then we have another one. So it comes up around. Like that, and then there's another layer. The inside, and like another one here. And then more sort of those bolts and squares and things sticking off. Right, and so this is like his wristband, right? And then his hand comes out here, and he's doing this kind of pose, right? So you can see like the top of a knuckle of his finger, right? So just here. So we're coming out, hand comes out here, then we have a knuckle going this way. Step up for the next knuckle. And then we go up again. And then his finger kind of goes like so, down, across, down, right? And then this goes back down towards the thumb, this way. And then the thumb kind of sticks out here, curves around, back down, sticks out, back down to there. And it's a leather kind of glove, right? So it's fingerless gloves, so they kind of come across just the top of each hand. If you want, you can add a thumbnail just there, and maybe like the side of his finger or something. Some knuckle lines there, and we'll do some knuckle lines here, maybe like here, like a fold just for the side of his hand, like so. So that's that hand done, right? And the other hand is holding his sword up like here somewhere. So we can see his thumb. So coming across, so he's like holding it like this, you know? So we can see, what can we see? Right, well, we'll do, right, so just to get the sword in the same position, right? And you could use a ruler for this. Do I have a ruler here? No, I don't. Do I? Yes. You can do a freehand if you want, but just to get the sword in the right position, like the hilt of it is like here, and then it goes sort of diagonal into his hair, kind of like that, right? And then the side of it, so it's that big sort of square sword. I know they're all big, but like it's the sort of, is it the original? I'm not sure. This goes up, across, and we'll bring it back down that way, right? And then the main part of the sword will go off this way. And it comes down behind his hair. There and like here. Okay, so that's the actual blade. So the handle comes out here and it goes up to fingers. So they're not drawn in very clearly. Lovely, right? So let's see, gonna have to try and okay, so handle there, handle there. Okay, so that's roughly our direction of our handle, right? So then we have to have a finger here, starting here, okay? And the thumb kind of sits on top of these, right? So our thumb kind of sticks out here, right? It's like the shape of a bean or something. Right, just there. You could have like a knuckle or something there. And the back of the hand, the fingerless glove sort of comes down behind his hair into there, and the bottom of that glove kind of goes back that way, right? So that's like his thumb. So your thumbnail could be there somewhere. And then the index finger and stuff, right? So the back of his hand, say here. We'll just do the knuckles on top first. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere there. And then this finger comes down, round to there, round to there, round to there roughly. So this should maybe come up a bit further. And then there. And this comes down. It's always harder making up hands when you don't have a clear reference. But I'll do my best. Right, so sort of like that. and the fingerless glove part. So like the knuckles come across like that. Comes down there, and you might have like some skin folds on the side. That's not bad. I thought it'd be worse. Like, you know, you could have some fingernails, some knuckle lines. And then the back of his glove comes out around to there. And then we could have some like lines on the handle of his sword going that way, and then the handle will go off my page. Just line it up. Like that. Like so. And where's his arm then? So his wrist. This is like his arm, you can't really see it. It kind of goes just back. No, can't see it. His arm is like back here somewhere. So it just kind of looks like a floating hand. Let's say, well, so. That's it. I think that's it, yeah. Can't see his arm because it goes back here and sort of back into his elbow. Sort of down there somewhere. So that's Cloud. Okay, let's go over and do Sephiroth. So, okay, he's kind of holding the handle of his sword towards Cloud. So the handle of his sword is like, comes right out to here somewhere. So, right, we'll start with the nose again. So we'll just curve a line out. Up here, real pointy sort of nose on Sephiroth. And then back in, okay? A bit pointier than Cloud's. And then nostril. So back there somewhere. And then his brow comes up towards his forehead up to here. So when you know where the character's brow is, that's where you know where his eyebrow is, right? So roughly, you can put an eyebrow sort of going this way. Again, most of his hair will cover this, but we'll draw it in. And then we just bring it back down, up to there. So then, eyelid line comes across. Most of this covered by hair, but we'll draw it in. You can just maybe like thicken it up a little bit. This kind of comes down the back. Make it kind of pointy. Right, so then bottom eyelid just sort of comes down from this. Comes across. Similar sort of to Cloud's, I guess. Maybe a little bit skinnier. Like so. And we're going to try and make him look down. So we're going to go sort of looking down at Cloud, sort of that way, like an ellipse. So you can see the bottom is cut off, but we can see at the top, the opposite of Cloud's, because he's looking up. And then pupil, just there, right? So then we give him sort of an eyelid line just here. And then we go do his mouth. So we go, top lip sticks out. sticks back in. Bottom lip stick out. Go back in. Easy way to do a mouth. It's always like a letter M. Turn that way. A letter and letter M. I was gonna say number M. And then his chin just comes down around, and this will eventually disappear behind his collar, okay? So his mouth then, so you can have him smiling sort of confidently, or just sort of a flat mouth. So we're going back this way. And then down. Sort of like so. If you wanted to have him smiling, you can go up, but I give him a serious sort of mouth. So, Sephiroth has big hair that comes down here and a big collar, okay? So I guess we'll do the collar first. So let's see, so we'll go down this way for his collar coming across his head. And then this will go nearly all the way back. So this will go like back to like there somewhere. And then it'll go down towards his shoulder. And then this has like another area there. And then the collar on the other side of his mouth will come out, should come out maybe a little bit lower down. So like here and then down to there, back in, down to there. Right, so we'll go up and do his hair. So we have like a bit of hairline there, and then he has massive like hair coming down all here, right? So like it cuts off nearly most of his eye, right? So going down that way. Okay, and this is like big up here, and then how far up? Maybe there. Then we'll bring it back. Like so, and then down. Right, and then you can erase these lines inside here. Right, if you want, you can add like some texture coming up and down these, like so, and then some hair on the other side of this, another piece of fringe that comes out down around the back of his head, down there. Maybe like some hair that comes down just back there somewhere. Okay, so big massive shoulder armor thing, right, that comes around here. Like so, and then down the back. Down to there. So it's a big, huge shoulder armor. The front of it comes around here. Go back around into here. And then we have three sort of circles or holes, you know, kind of like a bowling ball or something. There, you can color them dark. And then we have a lip or an edge all the way around this, down like that, and then another piece of armor here goes around his shoulder, like so, and then up here. And then we give it like an edge. So maybe it's going up this way as well. And I think, right, so kind of like that. So then we can see like the rest of his head and his hair going back this way. Coming out from his head kind of here. So it'll go out like so, down, and then trail off this way. And then the long hair gonna go off that way. And then you can add like loads of texture, as much as you want, sort of, on all these pieces of hair, because he's got like real long hair. And we can see, we should be able to see some of his ear just in behind here. And then ear lines, so like that letter J sort of shape. But if you want, you can add more. To there. Right. Okay, so he's holding his sword here, right? So we can see his hand. He's kind of holding it just flat, straight out, okay? So we have sort of 3 knuckles just. So say like 1, 2, 3, right? So this is like his index. And he's got a glove on and stuff, so. Right, and this is like, this goes back into his glove. Down that way. Then we go out, down, and then this is 1 knuckle, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then his little finger goes up, might have like skin fold or something here. And then this goes up, joins this one. So if you want knuckle lines and things, so then his thumb sort of down here, okay? So just underneath, kind of like clouds. Right, so then the handle of his sword goes this way. And it nearly touches Cloud's arm. So we'll go, comes out from just underneath the thumb. Just there, and then the end of it, kind of golden. Like so. And then here. And then it's kind of like a classic kind of samurai sort of. It's got these sort of shapes. They're a bit round. I'll make them sort of more like that. I think that looks better. And then this will go further down towards the hilt of the sword. Down to there, and then this will go around. to there. And this is like a golden part here. And then maybe like that. And then, so then the bottom of the sword just goes into the hilt here. Like so, and then we'll go back this way. All the way back. I think it gets a little bit wider as we go. Like that, and then the line in the middle goes back there. Right, so then his sleeve and the back of his hand. So sleeve here and the bottom of it. Down to there. Like so, and it's all dark inside here, so I'll just color it dark. Like so. Right, so rest of his sleeve, so we got like his arm sort of goes into his armor here, and then this comes down his kind of elbow, so it comes down this way. Goes into there, and his back and his body down that way. There's like a fold or something sticking out there. And then the front of his armor and his chest and stuff. So this comes out. And his armor sort of comes out here. Chest kind of armor sticking out there. And he's got like another armor plate here. Goes around like so. Don't know what this is. It's like a shape, like a hole or something. And then this line goes up here. Like so. And then let's see, he's got like another big shoulder pad out here. So this comes out, down and in. And then the inside of it is sort of comes up here into like the back of his collar or something. And it's all dark inside that as well, so I'll just color this. And then could have like another sort of edge line just coming down around it. And then the front of his body just comes down here. And down here we meet what looks like a belt. So it kind of sticks out, and the rest of his body goes down that way. It's kind of like a strapped sort of belt here. And there's like some fold lines coming across like so. And then like that, front of his chest. Right. I think that's everything. That's how to draw Sephiroth versus Cloud. Hope it was helpful. Just a person. Thanks for the request. Anyone else have special requests they need me to do quick? Consider going to Patreon and shoot me a message. Hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.